EPL midweek games. Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 0-1, Arsenal 2. This one ended in there are some very interesting results today. A few ones we're going to touch base with. If you're an Arsenal fan, results went your way this midweek. Arsenal managed to edge past Nottingham Forest 2-1 at Nottingham Forest home. And on the other results, surprisingly, Newcastle went away, who have struggled for a long period in the season so far, went away and beat Aston Villa, who have been beating down Arsenal's neck on the league table 3-1. At some point, they were 3 goals up at Villa Park. Ugum, I don't know if you follow the midweek games, if the AFCON allowed you to follow the games. I watched the Arsenal game, and Arsenal started the game. They had possession, but there was nothing enterprising about it. The passes, for me, the passes in the first half were too slow and too predictable. Yes, 1 or 2 chances were carved out. Jesus missing one, hitting the crossbar. And that was just about it. Bukayo Saka wasn't really incisive as he used to be. Arsenal had controlled possession. As expected, Nottingham Forest, being coached by Nuno Espirito Santo, we know him. Even if you give him 10 Ronaldo, he will still play a low block. So it was expected that he was going to play that way. But Arsenal couldn't manage to break them down in the first half. And of course, the goals came in the second half. I don't know. What did you make of that game?
Yeah, you were right that Arsenal started quite slowly, but I thought the body language from the Arsenal team was strong. Mm-hmm. They came with intensity. They came with commitment. They came not feeling not looking complacent. They looked like they wanted to win the game. Now, many of us fans see low blocks and think that, like what you just said, the passes were too slow and all that. When you get on that field, you will understand that, when you have low blocks and you have 10 people in front of you, you have to think, you have to think and figure out what to do, especially for creative players, and just also know that a stray pass could lead to a counter attack that may affect your team. So it's all about keeping that possession. Yes, they could have released it a little bit more. I think that what they did towards the end of that first half was what they should have done a bit more of. And that's 1-2s. 1-2s. Jesus will drop and do a 1-2 with the likes of either Saka or
Odegaard.
The person
or Smith Rowe.
Or Odegaard or Smith Rowe, yes. The person that frustrates me with 1-2s is Martinelli, because he touches the ball 2 or 3 times before he does his 1-2s. But the rest of the players, I could see that when we tried 1-2s,
things opened up, yeah.
Yeah, things opened up. It was just execution at the final one. And the person I would have loved 1 or 2 of those chances that fell to Jesus to fall to would have been Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe would have finished one or 2 of those chances. Jesus has that tendency to just snatch at chances and end up missing them. That ball that he hit the bar had no business hitting the bar for a little striker. Just pick your spot and score. Anyways, he ended up making amends for it.
Scoring the more difficult one.
He scores the more difficult ones and misses the easy ones. So I agree that the team should have been a bit faster with the ball. But those low blocks, especially in that EPL, are very hard to overcome.
Yes, and I agree with you. And of course, in the second half, the team upped the game, did lesser touches, and moved the game quicker. And of course, the game opened up. Once they got the first goal, Nottingham Forest opened up a little bit more. Arsenal got the second one, and they came out. And towards the end, during the injury time, it became interesting because somehow there was a mix-up. For me, I blame Gabriel. If he was a little bit patient in that ball, he would have been able to clear his lines. And he dropped off for Awoniyi again against a big team, against Arsenal. And he took his chance, neat, 2-1. And the remaining few minutes of the game became tense for anybody that is connected to Arsenal. But of course, they managed to hold their own. And won the game through the second goal that was scored by Saka. Jesus now 59 goals in EPL that he has scored and have not lost. So once he got that goal, I think it was when he missed the first chance, and the commentator said, if there's anybody who wants to score against you, it's not Gabriel Jesus, because he doesn't lose when he scores. So he continues with that record. I just need to touch that. And there are some other results today that, like I said, Newcastle winning Aston Villa in Villa Park 3-1. This made sure that Arsenal now probably has about 5 points or 6 ahead of Aston Villa. At least they can concentrate on Liverpool and, of course, City. Now Arsenal is now 2 points behind Liverpool, who play tomorrow. Liverpool plays tomorrow. City plays tomorrow as well. I don't know, what did you make of? Were you shocked with that result between Newcastle and Aston Villa?
I was shocked, and this was at Villa Park. So
exactly,
Newcastle,
exactly. They've been very strong at home. I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah, Newcastle again are quite unpredictable. They've had issues, especially.
Yeah, but let me ask you: do you think maybe it's now that they have they're out of every other competition, they are now focused in just the league? Do you expect them, as you gather your thoughts, do you expect them to now give a charge on the Premier League and probably finish strongly, which it doesn't mean a kind of worry for teams like Aston Villa, Arsenal, and Tottenham Hotspur?
Yes, Newcastle, I think, are a formidable team. They were formidable last season. They still have a bulk of their guys. The only thing is that they have lost one or two key players to injuries. Joe Linton is out for the season, and he's a key player for them. All right. So I hear that they are trying to buy Jalen Ramsey from Aston Villa. I don't see Aston Villa strengthening a direct rival like that, because Ramsey is a very talented player. So, bar injuries, Newcastle will cause a lot of problems for most of the top teams in the league. So yes, I see them fighting and probably ending up with something top 5, top 6 at the end of the season.
Okay, the biggest surprise of the day, Luton at home, though they have been strong at home, but they beat Brighton 4-0. I don't know if you can believe that. I'm not joking. I'm telling you facts.
That's crazy.
Talk to me about that result. I know you didn't watch the game. I didn't watch it as well, but the result is worth talking about.
Again, I mean, Brighton, I love Brighton. I love De Zerbi. You can only use everyone in your squad and use different lineups and all that for so long. And at some point, it will come back to bite. De Zerbi seems to just use any player in his squad to face any opponent without having a clear, So that stuff that he's trying to do, you can see. I'm sure he made changes as usual, expecting to walk over Luton. And Luton gave them a different ball game. Yeah, so it is what it is. He will need to be a bit more disciplined with his approach towards, fielding players and establishing his pattern if he wants to fight at the very top. Of course, expectations have risen for Brighton. It's no longer the way it was when Graham was there, So De Zerbi might need to find a way
to stay up there.
Stay up there, because once you start losing, your players start going down on confidence, and it becomes a problem.
Yeah. Again, tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to be very, 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 very important in the top end of the EPL. City is playing tomorrow against Burnley. Tottenham is going to lock horns with Brentford. Liverpool will be playing against Chelsea. So it's going to be a busy day in the EPL. And tomorrow we don't have the AFCON. It's going to be a free day in the AFCON. So we have time to see these games. I know Arsenal fans will be hoping that Chelsea, of all people, will do them a favor tomorrow and make sure that Liverpool don't get 3 points. Because right now Arsenal is second in the table, 3 points behind Liverpool. 2 points behind Liverpool. So if Liverpool gets a draw tomorrow, it shrinks, or Chelsea manages to win. Considering the fact that Arsenal will be locking horns with Liverpool at the Emirates on Sunday. So that will, set up that game for a fiasco. The Man City, on the other hand, that will be playing against Burnley. Burnley, I know, in the first game of the season, gave City a very, very tough fight. Though towards the end of that game, they lost their footing and lost the game 3-0. If you see the scoreline in that first meeting, you would think that City ran them over, but they had chances in that game to go ahead even 2 or 3 goals before City started scoring their goal. So that one, I don't know where to place it. It could go either way. City, if they are the City that we have just seen the past few weeks, of course, there's nothing to worry about. The City fans don't need to worry about that game. But of course, this is EPL, like you said earlier on. Anything could happen. This is football, and that is why it's called a beautiful game. If I can borrow your words, yesterday. So tomorrow is an interesting day. Our fans, like we promised, stay on this channel, watch our contents, like and share, subscribe if you have not done so. We'll be looking at those games tomorrow, and as well as usual, as we do, bring you insights, reviews of those games, and of course, highlights. Stay locked on this channel and continue to support our project, and we are glad to have you. We can see the road to 5,000 subscribers is really on. Since the Afghan viewers have been subscribing, we have been busier in the comment section. Also, don't forget to check our social media handles: Facebook, Tranzeet TV, Instagram, Tranzeet TV, TikTok, Tranzeet Footy. These platforms we also use to send out contents and continue to support us. Ugum, any last word for our viewers before we end this one?
Well, yeah, like you said, let's keep it tuned. Keep your hand on that dial for Tranzeet TV as we continue our AFCON journey.
Okay, guys, good to see you, our viewers. Let us know what your opinion. Who are your takes? What's your take in the EPL as we go on? This is going to be approaching the business end of the season. It's still wide open between Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, and possibly Aston Villa if they can sustain their charge. And Tottenham is also coming behind. The Newcastle, like we have said, is out of all the competitions, and probably with the team that they have can also push for a strong end to the season for their team. So these things are evenly poised, and we can only, as fans, sit back and enjoy the drama as they unfold. Thank you for stopping by with us today, and ciao.